Hey besties, today we are going to a rodeo in West Monroe. So this is like the first rodeo of the real 2025 year, but second rodeo of the 2025 season, since y'all were so mad at me for saying that. So before we get the horses, we are gonna get a bunch of alfalfa. We are taking Kite to be Dakota's buddy because Dakota cannot haul alone. If you've ever had a super buddy sour horse, you know what I'm talking about. So the first thing we're gonna do is get all of this alfalfa packed and a little bit of Bermuda for Kite, and then I've got to get their winter blankets just in case it gets cold tonight, and then we will load the horses up and go. It's about 5 hours away.
Did you get them all?
Yeah. I think I can probably fit just about 2 flakes in these little ones.
So feed pans?
Yes. Feed pans. I've got to get his other 2 hay bags.
And then we'll fill up a couple of
Yeah, and we'll fill up 1 bag of those, maybe 1 trash bag with Bermuda.
Yeah, I would just do 1 trash bag because
I think I'm allergic to alfalfa. Pretty positive. This will be his bag for in his spot in the trailer. And then those other hay nets are going to be just for hay when we get there. So this one will go in his stall tonight. I think that's all the hay bags. 4 big hay bags. Pretty much all for Dakota. Get these into the horse trailer. Okay, I'm gonna get these bags in the front spot because there's not gonna be a horse in here, so they can just ride in that manger. A mistake I made when I first got Dakota was not letting him have alfalfa 24/7, so now he does, and I'm packing so much alfalfa to make sure we do not run out on this trip, so he stays happy, healthy, and keeps all that weight on.
Video you dying from alfalfa inhalation.
I'm gonna put this in the Kite spot. I'll have to come back for that.
Okay. And then we'll grab that black bag and put it over on the shelf. Sadie up in here.
Kite has no teeth, so he does not get a hay bag. He just gets a flake of alfalfa. He just gets a flake of alfalfa in the manger, and he normally just sleeps in the trailer anyway. It's for Dakota. Hay fever.
It's for real.
Real hay fever.
short girl.
Yep. Life's crazy that way.
Yep. The tack room looks amazing.
Thanks. Okay, now I have their blankets, I have hay, I have all my tack, I have feed for Kai and feed for Dakota. So I think we are ready to go get them. I don't have a video of me loading them, but I went, gave them each some omeprazole and got their fly masks on before I got them in the trailer. You can go.
I said yeah. Let's get a video of this. We are tangled up in. That's hilarious.
Once we were in West Monroe and had the horses settled in their stall, it's time to get Dakota some treatments to get him ready for tomorrow. So I'm going to put the Beamer blanket on him. This is going to help him if he's sore. It's kind of like a massage blanket. It's pimp therapy. So it's really good to get his muscles kind of relaxed, and I think it just feels really good for them. So I'm going to pop that on. Turn it on. I think I turned it on the longest setting.
And over here we'll get a shot of this super in shape rodeo.
He's in
pose. He say he wants that.
While that Beamer's running, I am going to make sure his hay bags are full for the night. There was still, I think, about a flake in this hay bag, so I put another flake in there just to make sure he has enough. His hay chick slow feeder was full enough, so I didn't have to fill that up because we filled that up before we left, but he had eaten out of this one on the ride here.
We go. Beamer. Big pile of hay.
He's on the Pro Rodeo trail. I'm the main character.
Do you hear her, Cole?
Not really.
Do you hear her?
I think it's Chester, actually. I don't think Dakota thinks he is.
Yeah, he does. Show.
I think Chester takes the... Now I'm going to get the Beamer back in its case, and we are going to get Dakota's blanket on because I believe it was in the 30s this night, and I don't want him losing any weight because he was cold or shivering. So I am going to get his blanket on. He was being a little weird about it, but he just wanted to stand in the corner and eat his hay. Finally, I got him to let me stick his head through, and I started putting the blanket on. Kite's not going to get a blanket because he literally will not keep it on unless it is literally mid-20s or below. He will destroy the blanket. He hates it, so he only gets a blanket when it's super cold. But Dakota likes to have his blanket when it's in the 30s, so that's what we are doing right now.
He's checking to see what you got. Good morning.
I had gotten up around 6 to feed the horses, so they were eating their breakfast, and of course Kite was really making a lot of good ASMR noises. We are up in slack at 9 a.m., so it's time after they've eaten to get all of my tack out of my tack room and into my cart so I can drag it all the way to these stalls. And you can tell I'm trying to figure out how to fit everything on here because I am so not taking 2 trips. It was kind of far. So I'm going to get my saddle, my grooming bag, my saddle pad, my nebulizer, my helmet, and all of the boots I'm going to run in, and of course his bit and a flare strip. Once I have all my stuff gathered, we are going to get to the stall. They slept in their fly masks because Dakota just loves to scrape his face in stalls for some reason, so it helps protect him. I'm going to tie him up and take his hay bag away, which he was really upset about, but we are going to be nebulizing him today, so I didn't want him eating a bunch of hay before I put that on. Before I get the nebulizer, we're going to throw that beamer back on this morning, and I put it on the short setting just to, again, relax his muscles, get him warmed up, give him that pimp treatment, and I also put one of the cuffs on his leg. Does the same thing down here. Once I have those on, I am going to put on the nebulizer. The nebulizer really helps open up their throat and chest and allows them to breathe better and easier, which you definitely want. So this is going to help him just breathe better, open up his throat, his lungs before he runs. And the beamer was done in the middle of me picking his feet, so I got all of the beamer items off. You can tell I am just yapping away here. Once I have all of that off, I'm going to continue picking his feet. I want to make sure everything's out of here. It's been so muddy, so they were really packed in. I want to get all of that out of there. I want to get a good look at his feet. I don't want there to be a rock in here or anything before I ask him to go run and ride. So that is what we are doing here. I love this hoof pick I have. It's a little bit bigger. I got it at Tuskie's maybe. I don't remember, but it's really good. So I'm able to get all of this nasty mud out of here pretty easily because it was really packed in. I'm gonna work on getting him tacked up because time is getting closer to run. So I'm going to take my brushes and really brush where all of that tack goes. You don't want any dirt or grime or anything under your tack. You don't want it under your boots or your saddle. So I really make sure he is good and clean before I throw on my tack. So while I was in the middle of tacking up, his nebulizer is done, so I just pulled that off, and I'm going to get my saddle on and all 4 of my boots. Once all that tack was on, it was time to get his flare strip on. This is also supposed to just help open up his nose and allow him to breathe better during his runs. I chose a white one because I thought it kind of matched my tack and my boots. Now I'm going to get my helmet on before I get his bit on. Once that's on, we're going to go warm up. There were a few different warm-ups. I think there were exactly 3. One of them I would not recommend riding in because they did not have it worked up and it was hard as concrete and I don't want to make him sore. So we chose a nice quiet warm-up that was soft. I'm going to walk for a long time, really making sure I get him warmed up both directions here. It's colder. I'm all snuggled up in my jacket before I have to take it off, so I want to make sure he's really warm before I even ask for a trot. So after I've walked for a long time, I'm going to ask him for a trot, and I'm going to post that around, asking him to kind of be more extended here and just kind of let him pick the pace at a trot, of course. And we're going to trot these laps here, and I'm going to trot for a little bit, and I will make sure to trot both ways. You'll see me switch directions in just a minute, but once I've trotted for a while, I will ask him to lope off and go ahead and lope for a while. Again, really making sure he's warm. I like to do a really nice warm up. I never want to take him in for a run on cold muscles because that is when injuries happen, and we of course do not want that. So we make sure they are super warm before we take them in the arena, and we're just going to lope around for a while. I kind of lope around one-handed, just a really easy warm up today. Once I was done with that warm-up, I walked for just a little bit in here, and then I took him back kind of down to the stall to tighten his saddle. You can see here he knows what's up, that he's about to run, but he's being really respectful about it. So I get him down to the stall and tighten his saddle, and after I do that, I'm going to stretch his legs. This is also just going to make sure that no skin or anything is trapped under the cinch. It pulls it out. So that's really good to make sure of, and then I'm going to hop on and go to where the alleyway is, and where the alleyway is where that super hard warm-up is. So you're only going to see me walk in there. Thankfully, my warm-up was done in plenty of time to get in here without stressing that he was cold. So I'm going to walk circles in here while we are waiting our turn, and girls were running out into here too, so it was a little chaotic, but really in pro rodeo terms it was not that bad. It was a fairly chill slack this morning, kind of cold, which I didn't enjoy, but we're gonna walk around for a while. We could not hear a thing back here. We could not hear the announcer, we could not hear what was going on, so we just had to rely on the gate guy to scream at us. Here we are going in for our turn, and this is him walking into the alleyway. The alleyway is literally so long. You'll see my blue helmet still going here. We're still walking, still can't really see the arena. You can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel up there, so I want to make sure he walks really close to it so I don't send him flying from the back and mess my angle up or anything. And here is our run. I kind of cut him off at the first barrel. He could have used another step there. Since I had lost my balance so much when I had a neurological symptom this summer, I'm really working on getting it back and not pulling on his head as much this year. I want to be a lot softer with him. We ran a really nice time. We ran a 16 flat and finished 5th for the whole rodeo. Here we are coming out of the alleyway. He stopped way back there. He did great. I'm going to really pet on him, telling him he did so good. We really just cruised because we haven't been running barrels, but I'm super excited about this. I'm going to get him in the stall and get his tack off. Here I am taking the bit off and probably talking about my run, of course. I'm going to get his halter on, get him tied up, and get all of that tack off of him ASAP. Once I had all that tack off and made sure he had a really good drink of water, I'm going to grab a tube of Race Recovery. This is electrolytes, really help replenish him after his run. Make sure he's good, he's drinking, and he has everything he needs. These are my favorite electrolytes. I don't really like the Tractor Supply ones, but these are formulated especially for what we do pretty much. So here he is enjoying his electrolytes totally.
A road of you.
He got it all. We just had a dramatic end to the... He's a good boy. Him's placed in 5th. My treats were on the kitchen counter. I don't got them.
Yeah, I think I already gave him what I had. Easy to get to.
BRB. Stampede at the Ike is doing.